When Harry stood before the audience, his voice did not tremble, but his words carried a weight that silenced the hall. He spoke not of palaces, not of politics, but of pain, loss, and the struggles that shape him. He reminded everyone that Sentebale is not just a charity. It is a legacy born from the raw wound of losing his mother Diana when he was just a boy. And in that moment, Harry placed himself not as a prince, not as a duke, but as a man navigating grief in public view. But here's the twist. Many saw his statement as more than heartfelt. They saw it as strategic. Some critics argue he is shaping his image as the wounded royal, a man forever marked by tragedy, now using that vulnerability to redefine his place in the world. Is this unfair judgment? Or is this the power of narrative? Like, share, and subscribe before we continue the untold royal story. Ladies and gentlemen, the world has once again turned its eyes to Prince Harry. Not because of his military past, not because of his royal exit, but because of his words. A statement he made during his appearance for Sentebale, the charity he co-founded in honor of his mother, Princess Diana, has ignited a fresh storm of debate. And here's the question dividing audiences. Was this the cry of a man embracing his human vulnerability, or was it the careful narrative of a royal martyr seeking public sympathy? This, my friends, is where emotion, monarchy, and controversy collide. Across history, leaders have used strength as their armor. Kings commanded with iron fists, generals with fire in their voice. But Harry's approach is different. He shows his scars. He speaks of therapy, of trauma, of breaking cycles of silence within the royal machine. This resonates with millions, especially younger generations who reject the idea of untouchable, stoic leaders. In fact, psychologists argue that vulnerability in leadership builds trust. It tells people, I am one of you. I bleed, I cry, I hurt. But when that leader is a prince, the son of Diana, and a man who walked behind her coffin at age 12 before the eyes of billions, does vulnerability become inspiration, or does it risk becoming performance? Let's face it, Prince Harry is no longer the spare in the palace. He has stepped away, he has spoken out, and he has built his own path in California. Yet every statement he makes is still viewed through the lens of royalty. And this is where the word martyr enters the conversation. By openly exposing his emotional pain, by consistently reminding the world of the cost of his royal upbringing, Harry positions himself as the man who sacrificed royal privilege for mental well-being, family, and freedom. Some applaud him. Others whisper, is Harry deliberately crafting the image of a royal martyr, the man who bore the wounds so others could heal? And let us not forget, this is the son of Diana, a woman whose own vulnerability and humanitarian drive turned her into a global icon. Is Harry continuing that legacy or rewriting it for his own story? In the UK, Harry's statement triggered mixed reactions. Some commentators praised him as the most human member of the royal family in modern times. Others questioned why he continues to tie his personal journey to his royal past, even after stepping away. Meanwhile, in the United States, his words were received as refreshingly honest, fitting into a culture that celebrates openness about mental health. To many, Harry is not just a royal anymore. He is a modern advocate, a father, a man unafraid of emotion. Two worlds. Two interpretations. One man at the center. Let's not overlook the stage itself. Sentebale, the charity Harry co-founded with Prince Siso of Lesotho, supports children living with HIV and vulnerable young people in Southern Africa. It is deeply personal, rooted in Diana's compassion and Harry's commitment. But here is the controversial point. Sentebale is also the perfect platform for Harry's public narrative. Every speech ties back to grief, healing, and the transformative power of love and empathy. Is this coincidence? Or is this careful branding? And does it matter if the outcome is still children being helped, voices being heard, and lives being changed? Harry's Sentebale statement reminds us of the tension that defines his entire life, the line between being a prince and being a person. Royals are taught to wear masks, to never complain, to never explain. But Harry tore the mask away and said, "I am not untouchable." For some, that is revolutionary. For others, it is betrayal of royal tradition. But one cannot deny the impact. Vulnerability commands attention. Vulnerability makes headlines. Vulnerability sells books, documentaries, and speeches. Which raises the question, is vulnerability Harry's greatest strength or his most controversial weapon? No discussion of Harry's emotional narrative can exist without Diana's presence. She is the ghost haunting every stage he stands on, every microphone he faces, every cause he embraces. And perhaps that is why his Sentebale words cut so deep. They do not just remind us of Harry the man, they remind us of Diana the mother, the global icon who once used her own pain to fight for empathy in a cold world. Is Harry honoring her? Or is he forever tied to her memory in ways that limit his own story? And so we arrive at the question that lingers in the air like smoke. When Harry spoke at Sentebale, did we witness the emergence of a new kind of leader, one who builds bridges through emotional honesty, or did we see the careful crafting of a royal martyr narrative, one designed to keep him at the center of global attention? Perhaps both are true. Perhaps neither. What is certain is this: in a world where monarchy struggles to stay relevant, Harry's voice is louder than ever. Vulnerability, whether pure or strategic, has made him one of the most compelling figures of his generation. And maybe, just maybe, the real power of Harry's Sentebale statement lies not in whether he is human leader or royal martyr, but in the fact that we are still asking the question. So, dear listeners, where do you stand? Did Prince Harry show us the courage of a vulnerable leader, or the carefully designed path of a royal martyr?